What's going on, guys? It's Apex Predator. So, hello, welcome back. This isn't going to be an FIA race, as you can tell from the title, I guess, already. I'm just struggling to find the time, really, to do this season. So, rather than just do nothing, I thought I'd try and hop in and venture back into the dailies, or I suppose weeklies now, we should probably call them. And just try and get that DR back, sort of hit that DR grind. And Group 1 at Sarthe should be a pretty strong track for me. So we're going to hop in now and see what we can do. I've had a quick little run around. What I'll do is I'll sort of have a little run around, have a feel, decide on the car. So I did a bit in the R18, and then hopped in this, instantly decided I was going to use the 919 instead. So hopped out, got set up to record, came back and entered the race. So we've got a good sort of 10-11 minutes, which is 3 or 4 laps probably of the Sarthe, just to try and get that time down a little bit more, get a bit more used to the car. I've not done this for a while, so I thought I'd show a bit of my qualifying process as well. A lot of it's just trying to learn the track limits at the Sarthe, to be honest. See if they've changed at all, see if they're still as strict as they were. I think you can take more of the, forgot the double shift there. I think you can take more of both, so this is pretty much the same, you also take quite a lot of that. I think you can take a little bit more of this first one here. I don't think you can do that, and I don't think you can do that either. I think if you got anywhere near that red curve, it was a penalty. So they've relaxed slightly the final chicane. And then I think as well, the first one here is a bit more relaxed. So here, I mean, I'm being careful to stay within the white lines too, I suppose, but I think that would have been a penalty for that one, possibly. I'm not sure, but maybe I just know the track limits a bit better now. But just trying to sort of pick them up. And sort of gradually bring the speed in as well before the race. I didn't know as well you can do tuning in this race, so I'm just driving the stock 919 here. We'll restart, get rid of that penalty. So yeah, look, settings adjustable. Did not realise that. But never mind. Because it's a weekly, I suppose it does give you more time to spend a bit longer on the races. So I think they've probably listened to the community a bit. I think some people did want the tuning opened up. I think the best way to allow people to do that would be to have the races last a bit longer. So yeah, maybe if I get some time, I'm going to try and do the FIA races tonight if I can, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get home in time. We'll see. So I'm not going to be doing any there's certainly no dailies today, but towards the end of the week, see if we can get a bit of tuning on the go. I'll have a look. The problem with tuning is it's not really a test of your tuning. You just go online and look for who's got a good tune. I mean, maybe you could a slightly longer gearbox probably, just because it's the Sarthe. It's not going to do any harm. I'm certainly getting right towards the top end of final gear, the end of this straight here, so in the slipstream, a bit of the longer gear would help. But I mean, the car feels pretty good, to be honest. But I'm sure it would go faster with the setting, so maybe I'll have a look and see if we can get some better results in this race with the setting, because yeah, I need to get that DR up. So I did 2 races last night, and it ended up, I don't think I gained DR, I think it was a net loss in the end, so we'll see how that goes. And we should just about have enough time to get this lap in as well. I usually time my restarts pretty well. And you've always got a little bit of extra time as well, it's not quite, as soon as that hits 0 you start transitioning into the lobby. There's usually a sort of at least 5 to 10 to 15 seconds or so. But so long as you leave roughly the amount of time you need, you're usually okay. If it's a good lap, of course, if you mess up, when you mess up anyway, it doesn't matter. You can see at the moment I've got the cars, so rather than the session best in the lap time delta in the middle, I've got the cars best, which I think from memory is a 20, isn't it? So I've got ages, miles, loads of time off my optimal, but like I say, that's just because I'm not really warmed up. I can't think when that would have been from either. It would have been that FIA race. 24 minutes of Le Mans, I think it's called on my channel. That was quite recent. Very easy to pick up a penalty through there. So the camber of the corner just sort of sucks you in. But they're very strict on the track limits there. So I find that sort of middle sector bit we've just gone through, for me it's all about just trying not really to push, just sort of try and let the car flow, just carry momentum. Same here a little bit really. I don't find I find lap time pushing too hard through this sector. It's just about just trying to maintain the flow really. Probably could have kept my foot in it there. Can get away with running quite wide on the exit. And here's all that really just not binning it, not picking up a penalty right at the end. Yeah, so there's loads of time left there, but it'll do for now. It's a 22 in the end, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, let's see what we can do in the race. So starting mid-grid. Should be an interesting race from there. Right, here we go. 5 laps of the Sarthe. You can see I'm using traction control. I thought that might just help me save the tyres a little bit. It's not really for drivability or anything like that, and in fact I worry it's going to make me a little bit slower, but it is just because I wonder if it might just help me manage the tyres a little bit. Because in a race, remember, it's all just about management. Managing your fuel, managing your tyres, in real life managing your brakes and everything as well, but in this it's just about tyres and fuel. So as you can see, let's try and take it nice and easy. We've got the slipstream, so nothing to worry about. And yeah, this is where if I'd have realised the tuning, look, a slightly longer gearbox may have helped a little. Could definitely have better lower gears as well. And yeah, I'm quite keen to actually have a look at that now. Have a look at the tuning, see how quickly we can go. But at the time I was oblivious to it, so it wasn't really affecting my racing. I was just thinking that, like, oh man, these guys are getting good exits, or all this sort of stuff. Oh, he's feeling so well. I was completely oblivious to it. Oh, this was a bit dodgy, look. So I think I had a lag spike. You look at my connection; it's pretty poor. Same with there's another Brit in the room, Tassie UK. We were racing with, I wonder if we were on like a weird server or something, but yeah, that was a pretty horrible lag spike. Obviously a bit worrying. And we lost a lot of drive out of the corner as well. Look, you see all these cars coming past. Although now I wonder how much of it is maybe set up, but probably not. I think we just lost a lot of drive there. So getting swarmed a little bit here. This guy decides to send it up the inside, and then obviously he realises there's nowhere to go. Go into the back of him a bit, which is just clumsy. And look at this penalty. 5 seconds, is it? You never like to see it. out of it there, which is awkward. And then just give me a little tap off there. Lovely stuff. So, cut to the end of that first stint. Picked up a few places on the way, back up to 12. But it's not going to be a good race. I think he's serving a penalty. Not too bad on fuel look. But I took tyres, which I'm not sure actually I needed to do. So ended up losing a lot of time back down to 18th. So I'm going to try this again. Now I think we're going to hop into it. Yep. But I'm going to try, obviously, hopefully not getting hit off. The track will help as well. But also just try and save the tyres a little bit more. Still pit for fuel. Although I was considering staying out. It would depend on slipstream. But I think also you're probably quicker just pitting for fuel. But let's see how we can get on not pitting for tyres, because I think it does save you a good 3 to 5 seconds. On a track like Sarthe, a lot of the lap time isn't really in the corners, it's just on getting good exits because of the long straights. So, let me see, I'm not too sure how the 919 is on tyres compared to other cars, for example say the Audi, the R18. I do know that car is very good on tyres, so might be that this isn't the best car to do this strategy in. I don't know, I think that's why I quite like this these weekly races. It does give you a little bit more time just to play around with the different race strategies and stuff a bit more. So I think if you're going to do this one stop but don't change the tyres, I think the R18 might be the better car to do it with. So I might try this strategy again in that car, or try tuning this car and just go for a faster overall race pace. I think that might be a better strat actually, because I was a lot faster in this car than I was in the R18. So you can see we kicked into fuel saving already. I know we're on the straights, but we're on the end of the straight there, so the return you'll get for running max power is pretty minimal, and the drawbacks to running a bit leaner are pretty minimal once you get towards the top end of 7th really. You're already there. You might lose a little bit of overall top speed, but not too bad. You can see we leaved it in 1 here, though, took it to 4 at the end, of course. Flip it back here just to power out. I should really flick it back again here, but I don't be doing too much. You're going to be driving as well. It's good to leave it in 1 here to get the drive out here as well, though it's quite hard to get the power down there, so debatable. That's where a good setup would help, I think, as well. So I'm probably going to leave it in 1 because I want to try and pick up the toe, although getting into this sector's we're flipping it down, certainly the end of this straight. Just a 3 or something here would be good. Yeah, too hot for into there. I was saying that in qualifying, wasn't I? As soon as I start to try and push in this sector, I don't really gain any time. I'm much better just sort of backing off and taking it easy. I tend to go faster when I do that in that sector. I think that's what that sector's about, really. Remember, it's an endurance track, so it is quite well suited to that sort of endurance style of driving. Just let the car do all the work. Too wide there. I'll get away with it, especially with the fresh tyres. Traction control hopefully just helping to preserve tyre life a little bit. It's only on 1, probably maybe have it on 2. I'm not sure how much it's actually going to help the tyre life in 1. It will probably help a little bit. try and not take too much out in the brakes. Do some more power here, there we go. It's tough to thread that line on that corner. But yeah, you can't take too much on the entrance curve, and obviously on the exit as well. You can take a little bit on the exit, but it's quite strict on the entrance. Another little lag spike. I think it was the driver in P4, Tassie UK, would be with low connection. See if that tune gearbox is only noticeably longer. He does look to be pulling away, doesn't he? I mean, I suppose I'm on fuel map 3 to be honest. Yeah, completely ignore that. Still though, I was a lot further in the slipstream at the start of the straight. Yeah, I've realised here, the slipstream's not enough. I'm going to have to just kick it back. Catching up a little bit. I might get him through these twisties. Yeah, we've made up some ground. Oh. Right, so that puts us into 5th. Going to pit on the end of this lap, obviously. Fuel's looking pretty good. I think actually not changing. I'm going to stick with it. I think not changing tyres isn't too bad a strategy. It's probably a little bit different if you're on a pad, I suppose, because it is harder to manage the tyre wear. With traction control, maybe not so much. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I'm going to do the race a bit more, so don't go rush out and try it because it's probably horrible. Yeah, look at this. So I was thinking, man, he's picked up some good slipstream, and maybe it's just because I'm fuel saving, but it will just be set up, I think, won't it? Have a different gearbox. Way quicker off that corner. Although maybe I don't need to drop to second. I'll have a go with a tune. I do feel like there's a bit more time to be had here. Well, there is anyway, even without the tune, to be honest. You can see that in the optimal, but with a bit of practice and a bit of tuning. And to be honest, I need to, because like I say, I think I lost the R, so I'm really going backwards. So that first race finished 15th or something in the end, 16th maybe, I think it was, in the penalty. Somewhere around there, it's not good. Look at the fuel though. I think we had 18 last race. Was it 18 this race? Yeah, it's 18 this race. It must be. Yeah. So last race was 12 then, sorry, not 18. I think usually people are around 8 or 12, so to come in with 18 litres, quite a good amount of fuel saving, but I was using fuel map 3 for a lot of it. And look, we come out in 4th because we didn't change the tyres. So at this point, I'm not sure if Tassie's changed tyres or not. In the first race, I thought maybe they didn't, but I think this race, just because I've managed to jump so much, I'm thinking now that he must be on fresh tyres. So although this is my whole strategy, so obviously I'm not going to just give him the position. This is the whole point of my strategy, to come out in front. Alright, I'm on lesser tyres, but it's Le Sarthe, as I say, most of the lap times here it's just on the straight, so it doesn't matter. That being said though, I don't want to hold this guy up too much, and it might be in my benefit to let him pass and follow him. So I've got that to think about, because I wasn't really in his race, was I? If he's racing for the podium. I'm unlikely to catch up with P3, I'd say, probably with these tyres if he's on fresh tyres. So, well, like I said, I'm not going to let him pass, but I'm also I'm aware that it's not really worth me battling too hard with him. In fact, I wouldn't battle at all. I'm not going to defend at all. But look, like I say, this is the thing with Le Sarthe, you can be on warm tyres, and because of just the nature of the circuit, it's not that much of a deficit. It's certainly not in the first sector, it's going to be far more of a deficit in the third sector, isn't it? Or actually, it's not the third sector, I think it's more like sector 4, sector 5, but the final stage of the lap. I think it's 5 sectors, is it? But yeah, certainly the latter sectors. Porsche curves. Indianapolis coming up as well. Really tough. Like I say, it's not too bad a corner. It's just the track limit's quite harsh on the inside. This one coming up, this fast sweeping right-hander. The corner itself is lovely, but very easy to pick up a penalty on that inside. That's the only reason I don't like it really at the moment. Way too deep there. And then we got a lovely part of the track here. Really, really nice. Yeah, a bit like Silverstone, just got really fast, sweeping corners. And look, Tassie's right onto the back of P3 now. I want to try and get onto the back of him, just get that slipstream. Don't need to fuel save. Oh, I overfueled a bit as well, just because I was conscious that I'd fuel saved a lot in the first sector, so if I just filled to the diamond, I think I would have had to have been on fuel map 3 for a lot of this final stint, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to just pretty much be on fuel map 1 the whole time. Obviously, if I needed to, I could fuel save and slipstream maybe, as we run very wide here. Look, just got away with it, lost a lot of time there, so that slipstream's pretty much out of the window. But yeah, so I overfueled a little bit because I didn't want to run the second stint how I did the first, so you need to factor that in a little bit. So a deliberate overfuel, just so that I could run. Not leaner, is it? Just run more power. Richer. I was trying to think of the antonym. I was like, is that lean? What's the antonym of lean? But yeah, it's rich, isn't it? So I could run a richer mix for the second stint. Pressure from behind. Might have better tyres. I think the better way to do this race for me will be to get a tune, get a better quality with some practice, and then do change the tyres and just run a faster race that way. So I still think I can do quite well with fuel saving. I think my fuel saving is pretty good, but just change the tyres and see what we can do with that. I think that race 1 was a bit of an outlier. The reason it made me think, oh, maybe I don't need to change tyres, because I was just so far at the back of the pack. I think I thought that people maybe didn't change the tyres, or maybe some of the mid didn't, but I think the guys at the front will still have done. I was just so far back that I couldn't really, you know what I mean, keep track of their pit stop progress and what they were doing and stuff, so just need to do more than 2 races, I think, really, to get a good strategy. And that's why motorsport now is so much about simulation, because you can simulate so many different strategies and different outcomes at different phases of races, and come up with a plan, an optimal plan for every possible scenario. There's a lot of computing power strategizing race plans. I'm just a guy with a cap, you know. So after the 2 races, I'd say probably do change the tyres, but fuel save where you can. So yeah, I might do a few more of this. I still haven't decided whether or not to upload this video or have another go and maybe put some of those races on. To be honest with you, it's already looking like it's half an hour, so I think what I'll do is I'll pop this one up and then maybe come back and have like a then and now, do like a lap comparison. That'd be quite cool actually. I can show you where in the lap the tuning is giving the time. That might be quite nice. So say you change your gearbox, you know, it's obvious it's going to be on the straights, I guess, but say maybe you weaken the front anti-roll bar a bit, soften off the front arb, and you stiffen the rear suspension for a certain corner. Maybe I can show on a lap. I think the main ones to show will be the gearbox. Super obvious when you have a gearbox change, because you can just see on the go, so you just make up so much time. The suspension one might be a bit more tricky to sort of convey, but maybe I could do that. We'll see where the lap time is in the tune. Anyway, so that was, what was it in the end? 5th, 6th. So like a 14th, 15th, 16th-ish in the first race, and the 6th in this one. Not a great night really, but it was about, I think it was about 10:30 at this point. It's getting a bit late. And like I say, that's with the standard car as well. I did not know that tuning was available, so I think there'll be a lot more time there if I was to do a few more races. So I probably will do that. I think I'm quite liking the sound of that. I don't like leaving time on the table. I know there's more time there, so I think we'll have a look at that. So alright guys, I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, bye.